You gotta be kidding me. It's that time. Once again, another GM Facepalm episode. Today we're going to talk about Hell's Rebels, Adventure Path, Book 2, Turn of the Torrent. It is another Facepalm episode. Today, Turn of the Torrent, with Syrinscape, with map tools in mind, online game. We're going to go through the PDF page by page and review my experiences with running a group through that game. So today... No, not monsters. What kind of music do we got for Hell's Rebels? Well, through Syrinscape, some you can purchase online. They have music for each of the books. I think it's around $14-15 for each of the packages, and it gives you custom themed music that actually corresponds to things that you'll run in the game. You can control the volume levels. They'll have things in here with dogs barking to spells that go off, whether they heal, whether they damage, such as ice or fire spells. Like, let's take a look at Book 2 here. Going right off the introduction of Book 2, Barzillai Rune introduces another proclamation, known as Proclamation the Ninth. And you can actually play that for your players here in Hell's Rebels through Syrinscape. And let me find it for you, and you can listen to it.
Proclamation the Ninth. By order of Lord Mayor Barzillai Thrune, the Congress of Hell Knights, known as the Order of the Torrent, is from this day forward stripped of its charter. All of its holdings and possessions are confiscated, its privileges and entitlements revoked, and its members declared outlaws. Steadfast citizens are commanded to turn over those members who have slipped the net of justice.
Wow, what a dick. Anyway, Barzillai Thrune. Introduction right into the proclamations that don't cease. There's just more and more of them that sort of infuriate and get those rebellion forces to gather, strengthen against this Lord Mayor, self-imposed. They mention Order of the Torrent. You'll come in contact with them. A Hell Knight order. And a lot of players often ask, can I play a Hell Knight? Most GMs tell them, well, you have to be of a not so grand alignment that may conflict with the rest of your players unless you're playing an evil group or some kind of chaotic, lawful evil maybe group. But in here you'll find that the Order of the Torrent is playable within this game with a good group, neutral good or good group, whatever. You don't have to worry about those problems of being lawful evil or something that might clash with your group. They have a lot of info on Order of the Torrent. A lot of great artwork for them as well. But anyway, goes into a little bit of a tavern tale sorts of intrigue and encounters with taverns, so you can definitely spice that up for your group. Or those that may have trouble with running taverns, there's a lot of information in here as far as how to run certain games, certain dice games where your players can bet money. So you have that to look forward to. They mention a little bit about the Glorious Reclamation, something that takes predominance in Hell's Vengeance, the group where it's an evil party. You can really take a lot of Hell's Vengeance and Hell's Rebels and mix the two together. I pulled a lot of good and evil creatures humanoids and such from that book, even treasures, and put them into Hell's Rebels, just to kind of spice things up a bit, give more variety and versatility, which Pathfinder is known for. So a little bit of information on Glorious Reclamation you can find in there. You go and you track down one of the Hell Knights, and you find out that you're kind of put on a series of tests and trials. So a lot of this book is kind of split into lots of side quests. So that may put some people off about that. Some people actually look for the rails. Other people detest them and can't stand them. But adventure paths are great for those that don't want to have to prep a whole lot, don't want to have to build stats and everything, and even those who like adventure paths just so that they can tailor to their own while having most of the work done for them, which is sort of where I kind of fall in to those brackets there. But there's a really great rope golem fight, and with Syrinscape, they give you a lot of sounds where the ropes are creaking, tightening. You can hear all those sounds during that fight. Weird shrieks, like it's some sort of creature from Conan the Barbarian. So a really great fight there. Lots of different side quests. I mean, it's riddled. Riddled. You're going to have to do lots of bookmarks or pacing or decide what things you want to keep or what things to take out. You don't have to do them in a specific order, really. So, if anything, you can play a lot of this off to like downtime if you wish. If you rather do levels by story sequence events rather than actually calculating all the experience and then trying to make it work. Nice little part where you have to rescue some Torrent armigers. Order the Torrent people in training, squires and such. You get to rescue them, so there's a fun little bit about that, where you have to secure papers and try to gain access to this jail site, and through subterfuge, coercion, persuasion, you can try to free those people or fight them directly. And again, Syrinscape gives you some great sounds for that one, especially when you come across a chitin. Let me see if I can find that for you.
And who is this coming to my court? Carriers of lies, each of you. I smell your falsehoods. Do you seek my aid in stripping them from you? I am but just started on this subject, so you will need to wait your turns in the night.
So they actually play something that's actually word for word in the book, in the PDF, or if you have a physical copy.
Run along, boy.
You come in contact
You get burned.
with Sabo, the jailer there. You can play some sounds from her if you wish. What else can I talk about? Lots of different alliances that you can make. You'll even meet more alliances in Book 3, but Book 2 they really put a solid foundation down, which I think they should for when you try to build the Silver Ravens up. That subsystem for your rebellion really works well. It even gives people a feat. So there are some great rewards for those that want to put just a small amount of effort into learning about the rebellion rules and using them. It's really great for displaying that downtime instead of just using some sort of quick dialogue to kind of get by it. You can really give a lot of background action to what goes on behind the scenes. And you could do, weeks and weeks that go by. Some people, they just do days because the imagination is just not there, and everyone wants to get to the next mission, so you can really give sort of an account of day-by-day proceedings with the Ravens. Show that there's a struggle for them as they try to build their factions and a lot of the little things necessary to start your own rebellion. I kind of wish this had more of a presence of Hell Knights. I would have liked different factions, different rankings, themes and such there. You get a lot of the Dotari Guard still. There's this one mission, though, I really liked with Varl Wex. The Temple Hill Slasher is a little bit of lore that carried over from Book 1 and carries over here to Book 2. So you get to have some resolve with that when you went to that Asmodean place in the first book, where you came upon that statue with that eye, that gleaming eye that you took the stone from or something like that, that wax statue, and you learned a little bit of history on the Temple Hill Slasher. Well, you get to come across someone who's sort of taken up his mantle in the form of a sentient weapon that kind of builds them up into that persona. There wasn't a lot of information on this as far as the scenario, and what I did is I turned it into a chase scene or chase mechanic. If you're not familiar with that, you can check out the Game Mastery Guide, and I used that so that when they came to his apartment, they could see him out on the flats of the roofs nearby, and soon chase began, where you could scamper up the rooftops or go through the cityscape to try and catch him. And just to kind of catch those off guard for those who may have ran a chase scene before, I added another element to it where I had someone chasing them. They had eluded Sabo, the spider. They did not defeat her. They eluded her and were able to take off with the armigers, so I had her return with that three-headed dog, and I was able to have them chase the group as they were trying to chase Varwex. So I definitely recommend something like that, some kind of chase mechanic for that. Let's see what else we have here. At some point during the game, you're going to realize that you need to have a base of operations. So this Lucky Bones intrigue comes about to the group. And I think what stands out the most from this is that you get to do underwater exploration and combat. There are the challenges with that when you go into the Lucky Bones, but you get to run into a variety of different things through the main halls and then down into the underwater subterranean levels. You really get to fight some things in the smugglers' tunnels there, and Syrinscape really showcases the underwater combat quite well. There's a lot of great sounds here, a lot of muted sounds, even the plunging as your bodies go into the water, and how the environment just kind of changes and is muted in a way. And then you can hear these Morlocks kind of sounds. I don't know, those creatures from World of Warcraft that came upon the shore. You could really hear like a lot of those sounds, a lot of death throes and such. I don't know if you can hear this or not. There's water run into like a pipe sound effect. So that's getting into the water. Then there's that plunge where you're submersed. Now you're completely under the water. Then you have underwater battle. You can hear the knocks of weapons that bang against each other. Very muted sounds. Even like the normal Hell's Rebels theme music, very, very, very dim. So it just kind of gives a new experience to your players as they experience the challenges of underwater combat, the drawbacks for using their weapons and such, and trying to survive if they're even unprepared for it. And that in itself could be a total party killer, possibly, if they just plunge right in and don't take any precautions or use any appropriate spells to combat the environmental effects. But is that it? Some recurring things, enemies, a little bit of the history of the old Silver Ravens will come to the forefront of the companions, and will even carry over into the other books. There's a lot of great lore here that Rexus can impart upon the group through discovery of the old Ravens documents. The one thing I didn't agree with was the Drowning Devil in the very last encounter here underwater. There is this ability. Let me bring it up through map tools here since I have map tools open. Turn to Torrent. There we go. A Drowning Devil. The artwork is really impressive. Unfortunately, his one ability is not this ability to drown. As a full round action, it can summon murky water into the lungs of a single target within 30 feet. The target can't breathe water. It's unable to hold its breath and immediately begins to drown. The group is really going to have water-breathing casts on themselves. So, I mean, the ability to drown is really doesn't really work. And then just looking at the ability itself, is this creature just supposed to fight people from the shoreline and use that drown ability where it forces or summons murky water into their lungs? Or is this for someone that just holds their breath by chance and decides to go underneath a tunnel complex that spans for who knows how long, and how long they'd have to hold their breath, where surely they couldn't hold out that long. So this is kind of strange that this drown ability is here. I mean, it works for the creature, but it doesn't work in this situation or in this environment. So, foolishly, I didn't really read that, and I tried that ability, and everyone's like, "Hey, I can breathe water. What's he trying to do? You just wasted a full round action." So, and not like I could say, "Oh, hey, yeah, let's take that back," because the creature wouldn't know whether that person was holding its breath or what have you. So, it's one of those wasted full round actions. So hopefully you can avoid that. I like its heavy aura though. Their carrying load increases by 1 category should you track weight distribution and such. But for most part, the fight went really easy for the group throughout most of the adventure, so there wasn't really anything that was tough. You'll find lots of scum, devilfish, globsters and such, reef claws. It seems like a lot of the books and upcoming, and just Adventure Paths in general, there's usually lots of different creatures that have advanced templates on them. Out of all the other templates to choose from, with the versatility and variety in mind, I'm just surprised it's always just advanced and never some other kind of template on it. So, Combat Manager is an offline utility tool you can download. I highly recommend that when you need to build monsters that require the advanced template. With the Combat Manager, you can easily click on the monster, then click on the advanced template, and all the calculations are done for you. Kyle Olsen is the one, I believe, who created Combat Manager, and he stepped away for a while due to medical reasons, but now he's back. So some forthcoming updates are now available, and I'm sure we'll see other bestiaries added to Combat Manager. I think it goes up to Bestiary 3 or 4, I think. So a really great utility, a great offline utility, so you don't have to be online to use it. It's great for a GM just to have at their desk, where they can easily just create something, click on something, whether it's treasure, feats, rules, monsters, or having a initiative window up if you don't want to write the initiative thing down on a paper or magnets or whatever you use for that. But anyway, Syrinscape really did it again for this adventure path with a lot of the great sound sets that they have customized for this particular tailored book. Although I would say the only thing I didn't like about the book is that it's just riddled with so many different little quests. I mean, I understand why they use it, but still, I'm more of a person that kind of likes the rails, just so I can steer the party in the right direction, instead of having to just throw everybody, just a bunch of these people, different factions, different NPCs, different, hey, can you do a quest for me? Hey, can you do a quest for me? Hey, can you do a quest for me? So a lot of the time it feels like a lot of people are just pulling on the party's arms to get them to come with them to go do something. So maybe that's just a poor reflection on the GM, maybe that's how it comes out. But anyway, that's how it came off for me. So anyway, I give this like a 7 out of 10. Still good, really good. You finally have a Hell Knight order that you can belong to and be within a good group and not have to clash or have conflict with the other party members. So that worked out really well. So I'll try to post some chase mechanics, some of the obstacles that I made for my game. I believe I still have that information around here somewhere I can pull up. So I'll definitely share that. And I have a Scum as a player character. Should your character meet its demise in this book, and you're near the Scum community and just want to quickly roll up something, and the prospects of a Scum might enlighten you to try it, that will definitely be available to you. I think they're a pretty cool race, a air and water breathable race with the look of like a creature from the Black Lagoon look to them. I think they're pretty cool. Not as annoying as the Sawagan. So anyway, that's all I got. Until next time. See ya.